Thank you. All right, we'll start off with citizen concern. Any concern that's not on the agenda? All right, moving on. Approval of the agenda. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Young. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
All right, passes 5-0. Moving on to the consent agenda. Items 4 through 6 constitute a consent agenda, routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items pass unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Item 4, approval of the minutes of the December 23rd, 2019 meeting. Item 5, approval of claims. And item 6, approval of memorandum of personnel transactions. I will move the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Young. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
All right, passes 5-0. Moving on, we'll recess the Board of Supervisors meeting, convene Wolf Creek Drainage District meetings. Number 7, approval of minutes to December 23rd, 2019 meeting. I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Adjourn Wolf Creek Drainage District meeting. Continue Board of Supervisors meeting from secondary roads. Item 8, approval of bid for project number 136, a hot mix asphalt overlay project for County Route D38 east of Bronson.
This time we had 3 bids for the project. DOT has recommended award of the project, and I concur. Recommend approval of the project and award to Knife River Corporation for $1,991,352.65.
I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on, item 9. Yeah, thank you, Mark. From the county auditor, approval of providing legal counsel for the Commissioner of Elections in regards to a matter in which the county attorney has declared a conflict of interest.
Good morning. Pat Gill, Woodbury County Auditor, Recorder, and Commissioner of Elections. I'm before you this morning to ask for approval to provide legal counsel for the Commissioner of Elections in regards to a matter which the county attorney has declared a conflict of interest.
All right. Well, it's just a matter of simply having legal counsel and advice moving forward with.
Yes.
Okay.
For the, has to do with a challenge of voter registration.
Okay. Well, I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Potabom. Do you have any idea what this might cost?
I previously, years ago, had where somebody had contested the registration of several voters, but and the county attorney's office assisted me in that. I'm the hearing officer. I just sit down and listen. They do provide evidence as to why someone's registration should be canceled, and it didn't take very long. John Rush just sat with me during that period of time, and it didn't take that long. But I don't know. I can't control the situation, but the rate is the same that he charged the county last time that you provided representation for me in another legal matter, and it was a little over somewhere $170 an hour range.
All right, any other discussion on this from?
Yes, Mr. Chair, if I may.
Go ahead.
So I am going to abstain on voting in this matter, and I look forward to a ruling on this matter because nearly 6 months ago, I'd made the situation known when asked by our county attorney and auditor, and know that what I've done is legal and will stand. So with that, I will look forward to a ruling on that and will abstain from voting.
All right, any other discussion?
And just for the board's information, the registration challenge was filed this morning, and a petition for the vacancy was also filed, and we're checking that to determine if 25 registered voters from the district signed that petition. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, all in favor?
And just for the,
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
just for the information, was that filed by Maria Rundquist and Mr. Auditor?
He's getting his microphone on.
The voter registration challenge was filed by Maria Rundquist, and the petition for the vacancy was filed by Tom Verzani.
No other questions? And all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, passes 4-0 with one abstention. Item 10 from Board Administration, Dennis Beller and Larry Goldberg, Goldberg Group Architects, discuss the proposed law enforcement center pertaining to matters of scope, capacity, size, location, cost, funding, appearance, staffing, and operation, and other pertinent aspects of the project which may be brought to the board's attention for review.
Okay, 2 items. One, the authority has been created. We are filing an article of incorporation with the Secretary of State January 3rd and with our recorder. So that will be filed, then there'll be a meeting set up. We are following the calendar right verbatim with the dates. We're on target to get this set for March 3rd. The other thing is, he does not need any more test borings. We did get 30 test borings from an architect firm that had already done it. In that case there, he said there's pluses and minuses, but they can all be worked out. So preferably that's the best site we have. So that's about all we have for today.
Sounds good.
Glad we could use those existing.
Yeah, save us a little money. All right. Moving on to reports on committee meetings. Over the phone.
Just have an upcoming Rolling Hills meeting, and they're going to be doing budget, and so we're trying to look at what some of the newly mandated services are going to cost, but that will be within about a week and a half's time, and then we'll report back what we're looking at for per capita.
Anybody else? All right, moving on, citizen concern, round 2. All right, board concerns. All right.
Good morning, Dwayne Hoffmeyer, Chief Judge, 3rd Judicial District. While my primary intent was listening for the update on the law enforcement when I arrived here today, I did see some of your budgetary concerns, and I do plan on sending an email out today to all of the county attorneys. The legislature last session passed 2 bills, House File 591 and House File 610, both of which put some additional responsibility on the county for payment of attorneys in primarily minor guardian and conservatorship cases. It's new. I have to send out an order today on just how that whole transition is going to happen, but I didn't know if it was included in under that Board of Supervisors item 7 agenda or not. So it's really just an informational purpose while I'm here, and knowing that I'll be sending that out to remind county attorneys. It's so new, I don't think I could give you a good prediction of what that will entail, but it's just an informational item. Any questions?
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item 14, budget review discussion for FY 2021, general relief. You got books for this? Yeah.
There is no books.
Okay.
Before we start here, there will be books in the future here.
I was just asking.
Oh, okay. Because for now, these are the only budgets we're going to go through for now. We're on hold for a while, or until we can get payroll done. It isn't Tyler's fault. We've been missing an employee for 14 weeks. It's put a heavy burden on the deputy in the auditor's office, where she's doing about 5 jobs out of 1 person. So we're a little limited what can get done. She's working diligently on that, the tax base and many other things. So please bear with us. We may not have budget hearings next week. We may push it back and reschedule all those that point at another session. So just to let you know, it will be coming, but it's a pretty big workload.
Michelle,
So,
can you kind of give us an update of what's current?
Yeah, it's been a tough 14 weeks with missing an employee, and a lot of the key tasks that are done by her position involve routine things like paying the bills and paying the employees, which have to be done. So with that said, the valuations, they're due by December 31st for taxes. Those hopefully will be submitted by the end of today, if not tomorrow. They're in good shape. We've just got a couple things that we have to get straightened out with the state and then those should be able to be updated. And then the personnel budgeting is what's holding up the entire budget right now. We did train all the departments on entering their department operating budgets, which went really well. They entered those, and they've been in for about a month. We've had the data from the departments for the operating budgets. So it's just the personnel projections that I haven't had time to work on.
Thank you.
okay, so we can do what we have today. And the first one here is general relief. Jean is here if there's any questions, but basically, she has left her budgets all the same. The first one's the administrative side, which we pay an allocation to them to handle all the administrative side of the social services side of relief. That's $26,950, which is the same as is this current year, no increase. I think on a lot of these, you should just receive them as submitted, and we make adjustments when we find out where we're at the taxes, which hopefully we'll know in a couple of weeks. So on this one, I'm asking for receiving this one.
So a motion to receive, I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Who made the motion?
Potabom, second by Raddick, sorry. Move on to assistance.
The next one is the same dollar amount, $120,200. If you look back, the expenses are down, but her rent assistance is run out because she's using some of that to cover her other costs. So we did leave the number the same. They get a lot more increase in expenses this last 6 months of the fiscal year. Jean is here if you have any questions, but we're asking the same amount here as the current year.
I'll move to receive.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Ung. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Next one is Woodbury County Waste. That is run by a commission. They're asking for 2% increase. That coincides with the contract we have with Gale Hauling. It's just, you take your garbage out there, they recycle or send it over across. So that's what we're asking there. It's an increase of about $4,210. That's 2% increase. So that's by contract.
I'll move approval.
Second. Motion by Raddick, second by Ung. That's to receive, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Okay, the next one is miscellaneous refunds and CF rebates. Okay, miscellaneous refunds is the same, 20,000, 20,000. That we have there for refunds if we have to make refunds of tax sales, any other kinds of refunds. Usually that's money in, money out. On the CF rebates, there are actually two rebates we do to CF. That concerns the excise tax and previous year. When they did this agreement with CF, we owe them our share of the excise tax back for the next 20 years. This will be year 2. So in the general fund, which covers all the town or countywide levies, that is going from 652 to 681,000, 28,553 increase, 4.38%. In the rural, it's going from 201,579 to 235,000, 33,952, 16.84%. Those we have no control because we did agree to that when we set up CF.
Is that for the full How, 20 years of the agreement, is that right?
No, that's per year. So over 20 years, we're going to rebate approximately about 20 times 900,000, 18 million. As part of the incentive package that was agreed to by the board, NCF, and this is what's going to cost us every year,
And that's excise tax, so that's.
excise tax. To make that clear, we agreed to refund our share of the excise tax. The valuation on that pipeline going in with the use of gas down there is 92 million. The other entities, such as Sergeant Bluff School District and all the other taxing bodies, will get their share. We could only agree to our share that we could refund back to them as an incentive.
What year was that agreement made?
Oh, that's back in I want to say 2014. When it first came up, we were doing CF. That's been a while. Could even be earlier than that. I don't have the exact, year, but
So it
something
was
we
not-
obligate ourselves to.
Not this board in particular.
No, this was back.
Well,
by-
I'm not
before anybody
criticizing
had
the
this board
deal,
was
it's
here.
just how long it goes on for from 2014.
18 more years after this year.
Okay,
So the county did make a pretty good sacrifice compared to anybody else.
yep.
But in the long run, it'll be beneficial.
I'll move to receive that.
Second?
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Move on to item 3, public bidder, general basic.
Public bidder here, they're actually budgeting $4,000 compared to $11,000. Right, $3,000 for professional, fees, $1,000 for official publications.
All right, I'll go ahead and move to receive.
Second?
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Next one is mail services.
Yeah, I
have
see we
central mail.
didn't have a number 4, so we're moving on to number 5. Mail services. That's all right.
Okay,
I didn't catch it, so.
nobody caught it.
Karen's not here, we'll blame her.
Yeah. Okay, we're on.
She's in
number
charge of counting around here.
5. This is mail services, central mail. This is where we have mail people come in, pick it up, and take it away to sort it. We left that same dollar amount, $63,650.
Move to receive?
I'll second. Motion by DeWitt, second by Radig. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to District Court Operations General Sup.
This here covers the telephone expense that we get reimbursed from the district courts, $22,000 worth. I see one problem there, but it's not a problem.
Money out, money
Parking,
in.
yeah, there has to be 22,000 put in where it says zeros there, so I did mark that. So we get reimbursed for that, and then the parking, I believe we pay for 5 judges at $650 a space. So that total budget would be $25,250.
Move to receive?
Second. Motion by DeWitt, second by Radig. Did we say that we're required to pay that parking for judges, or?
We've been furnishing parking now back in the LEC when the space ran out because we put that unit back there. We moved them over here. I don't know if it's a legal requirement, but it's more of a,
Christmas
we've been
thing?
doing it.
Past practice.
Past practice, yes, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to item 7, court-appointed juvenile attorneys, general sup.
Okay, this is out of the general supplemental fund, $301,000. It is a little less than the last one, but I was unaware of the legislation passed, so this one, let's receive it as it is. I'll confer with the chief judge and see what they come up with from the other attorneys for probably an increase in this budget. It is down from last year's $326, but our expenditures were down a little bit, but we're gonna probably have to increase that one. So I'd say receive it for now, and I'll make the adjustments, come back to the board.
Sounds good. I'll move that.
Second?
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to number 8, Risk Management Services, General Sup.
Okay, this is a $1,100,000, same as the last 4 years, since 17, 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be our 4th year of $1,100,000. Our claims, lawsuits have gone down, but we need to rebuild this fund, because at the end of the year, we only have about $200,000 or $300,000 in that fund, if we're lucky. So we're trying to rebuild it, but we're leaving the appropriation the same. We levy the money in general sup and transfer by county warrant over to the liability fund.
What is left in the account?
I think by the end of the year, we'll be lucky if we got 200,000, and that's not very much in a self-insured fund. That covers our insurance costs for the courthouse. Most of our buildings are self-insured, and we do have some other self-insurance, self-insured, but we do have other insurance policies too.
Well, we did have that incident over at the jail where the pipes broke and we had water all over. Did that set us back a lot, or?
I don't know how much that was. I
Because
do not know.
the older that building gets, the more we might need in this
We're gonna have
fund
more
to be able to
problems, yes.
cover the cost of keeping that jail afloat.
Correct.
All right, well, any other discussion on item 8?
I'll move to receive.
Motion by DeWitt, and I'll second it. Second by Radig, so. Any, with no further discussion, go ahead and, all in favor, vote aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to item 9, Sheriff Training Center.
Okay, this is our lease purchase payment, $113,923. This covers payments 11 through 14 of the 20 payments, so after this year, we'll be over halfway paid off on that training center. We do fund this out of gaming revenues. And we did have a donation of $40,000 from the deputies. We prorated that over 10 years, or the 5 years of this loan here. Also, we had upfront money from gaming and local ops sales tax of $137,000. We prorated that over the years. So what we're transferring from gaming will be the around $74,000.
Move to receive.
Second, motion by DeWitt, second by Radig. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 10, Township Officers, Rural Basic.
This is for their meetings. They have several meetings a year for the township trustees. The rural basic fund is responsible for paying their fees and also the clerk fees, how many hours they turn in. Over the past 18, we spent 8,300. We spent 5,519. In 20 so far, I spent 2,800. So I did cut that back 1,000 to 7,000 from 8,000.
Sounds good. I'll go ahead and move to receive.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to item 11, Soil Conservation, currently funded through Lost.
Correct. This is out of the rural basic fund. And one of the ways we tried to hold down the line of increase in taxes in rural basic was used 39,000 this current year for the soil conservation. The board can make that determination as we go through budgets here and get to the end if they want to fund this out of local options or tax dollars. But they're asking 39,000, which is what the current year budget is. No increase.
Move to receive.
Second, motion by DeWitt, second by Radig. Any further discussion?
Is that out of law?
Well, we're just receiving it.
If you want, you can determine it's out of lost funds now. That way I can budget for it, see how much we have left of lost funds. Or you can wait till we get down to toward the end.
Let's wait towards the end and see where we're at.
Okay.
That's what I'd prefer to
The
do.
history as we have done it in the past, but we decide when we get down there.
Any other questions?
If we don't take it off of lost, it'll be a tax increase on general basic, is that correct?
Rural basic,
Rural basic?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
That way we can see where our numbers are on general basic versus rural basic and everything, and then make those determinations on.
Yes. When we get to March 10th, we have a public hearing March 10th. It'll show us where we're at with our general basic, general sub, rural basic, rural sub. Because those are the funds are going to be somewhat concerned with this new legislation that did come through this last year. County mental health, debt service, and CIP projects are exempt from it. So our next one is medical examiner.
Well, we got to have a vote there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to medical examiner, general basic.
This one, we did have substantial increase. We did increase the medical services a little bit. We did increase medical fees. Also, we increased the investigations and the ambulance assistance. Costs are going up. You can see in the past years, $186,018, $180,019. We're at $83,916 so far this year, but a lot of the bills come in at the end of the year. They do have a requirement to send them in to us within, I think, 60 days. So we don't get bombarded like we did in the past year. So either turn them in or they don't get paid. But we did increase it 32,000 because of all the increased costs they have.
Is any of this related to the transport fees when Siouxland paramedic went out?
Yes.
And we picked up some of the costs going to the Sioux City paramedics?
Yes, and we did raise that, I think, to 500. It was 300, we did raise that to 500 for the funeral homes. We did contact the medical examiner, and we never did hear a response back, so this is what we put in. It is an increase, but we don't have a whole lot of choices, unfortunately.
I'll move to receive.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to item 13, STARCOM program, general sub.
Okay, this is a $70,379 allocation. We pay part of the STARCOM. It's all on formula that Lynn's here if there's any questions. It is a little higher than last year, but like I say, it is part of the whole group here of several counties assisting us. You got any questions for, and this is preliminary. I don't think they've had their hearings around the county. They have had, this is done? Okay, this is done. So you can receive it.
I'll move to receive.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? It passes 5-0. Moving on to item 14, infrastructure economic development, non-tax, Subline Event Center and Cat Grant Riverfront.
Okay, in this case, these are our obligations we've already committed to. The event center, we're in payment number 3 of 10. That's $150,000 per year. We're obligated to that. And the CAT grant, we're going to be payment 2 of 3, which is $20,000 a year for a total of $60,000. We already paid this year's, and this is for the second payment next year.
I'll go ahead and move to receive that. Motion by Raddick, second by Ung. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to county auditor, right? Item C1, records management.
Okay, this is, we just reallocate the balances and whatever revenues come in, plus we take off what expenditures were this year. So we have budgeted $205,200, well, $220,000 the same. The bottom line there is $205,000, but that takes into consideration the money they get in. So the real budget is $220,000, same as this year. That gives them authority to go up because it is dictated by the auditor what they spend on records, and they do have some plans next year. So there is money to cover it.
Move to receive. Second.
Motion by Potabom, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to item 2, recorders electronic fees.
Okay, this here, we just reallocated what is left of the fund balance, and we're estimating $2,700. They have spent some money out of it, so that's why there is no new money going into that fund. So we're just budgeting basically what's left, so you can go ahead and spend it. And again, that's at the auditor's discretion, auditor recorder.
Why is there no more money going into it?
It's been discontinued.
Yes, legislature discontinued that source of revenue.
They still get record management fees, which we count for, but we don't need more fees here, so eventually this fund will go away.
I'll move to receive.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to item D1, EMS Loan Fund.
Okay, in this case, we just reallocate what is in the fund, plus the payments that Gary's estimate coming in, 10,000. So we budget 169,472. This is non-tax.
I will go ahead and move to receive.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Potabom. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to D2, EMS training, non-tax.
This here is 5,000 in from training funds from the state, and we budget 5,000 spent.
All right, I'll go ahead and move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Anything for the good of the cause?
Yep, I will keep in touch with the chairperson in the next week or two where we're at.
Sounds great.
The budget's, we'll try to get her done. Thank you.
All right, we are adjourned.